Lights, camera, action! Hello guys, and welcome back to a brand new video of mine where I will be going to give you my reviews, my opinion and my scores on the performances of Strictly Come Dancing 2020 Week 3 Movie Week. And let's kick off with the first dance, Nicola and Katya and the Jive. It's Week 3 and I'm going to be harsh and picky on all the couples, maybe a bit more than usual. So on one hand it was all pretty precise and neat, and Nicola has shown truly great musicality. She was into the music all the way through. However, on the other hand, it all felt a tad heavy. Her kicks could have been much sharper, and there was no hip rotation during the chassis. And what really bothered me, she didn't act the dance. Her facial expressions were dead most of the time, and I don't know exactly why, but it was really lacking for me in performance. I think that Nicola's musicality is excellent and she knows how to move, and her jive was pretty good, or let's say not bad at all, but she needs to give a performance from the first bit of the music until the last one. I really hope she'll do better next week, because she really has a potential to wow us all. And for this jive, I will give Nicola a 5. And let's continue to Maisie and Gorka and the American Smooth. I must admit that I wasn't keen on this dance, and to be honest, I was pretty disappointed, because American Smooth for me should be a Fred Astaire and a Ginger Rogers take on a ballroom dance, and in this case it was a foxtrot. However, I felt it was rather a contemporary dancing take. In addition, last week Maisie completely wowed with her tango, performing what could have been the best tango ever on Strictly Come Dancing. But this time it wasn't technically strong, and although I was satisfied with her head position and her frame and her posture, her actual footwork left me wishing for better technicality. It needed more drive into the floor, and she also missed several heel leads. I know Maisie can dance exceptionally well. I know that her footwork can be phenomenal, and that's why my demands from her are high. And my score for this American Smooth is a 7. And let's continue with Caroline and Jonathan and the Jazz. It was all feeling very safe in terms of choreography and dancing. It was lacking energy, it was lacking extension, it was lacking finesse and lightness. It even left me pretty bored. I don't know why, but I don't feel that Caroline is progressing, sadly. She has the ability to do really great in this competition, but something is lacking in her energy and commitment. It feels like she's holding back. It had a nice amount of pure jazz content, but the execution of the steps was weak. To be honest, I'm really not keen on the whole couple choice thing. I wished all couples would focus solely on ballroom and Latin dances, especially in a short series like this. I really hope she will step up her game next time, and I will score this jazz a 6. And let's continue to Jason and Luben's Paso Doble. It was the weakest dance of the night without any doubt, and I'm not surprised he was eliminated. Horrible posture, I must admit, no shaping, no tilted hips, heavy footwork, no fluidity. It was totally lacking the flamenco movement of the arms, as well as the fact that he wasn't 100% into the art of the dance. I didn't think that the music was that problematic, as many viewers say, but I think that it really wasn't his dance. There were too many errors, and my score, sadly, is just 3. And let's continue with JJ and Amy and the Foxtrot. Lovely routine. Really lovely. JJ's progress is so evident, and it makes me truly happy. His confidence is growing, and his ability to produce a good quality of movement, as well as demonstrating a good technicality, are really noticeable. It was all very, very smooth, as a foxtrot should be. His musicality was excellent. He portrayed the character of the dance very, very well, and above all, his footwork was clean and it was lovely to behold. He didn't miss a heel lead, and that was great. I wanted to see a better frame because his elbows were a bit dropped, as well as pushing the feet more into the floor and having more sway. Having said that, it was a beautiful routine, a routine of celebrating the pure art of ballroom dancing without messing about, and it was definitely JJ's best dance so far. He is constantly improving, and that is wonderful. That is what the show is all about. And my score for this foxtrot is a 7. And let's continue with Harvey and Jeanette and the Cha-Cha-Cha. Fantastic sense of rhythm. I say it all the time. Wonderful partnership between Harvey and Jeanette, as usual. Very joyful. It had a good amount of treasure content, and I disagree with the judges on that point. I loved his chassé, and I loved his lockstep, where he transferred weight from foot to foot amazingly well. But I didn't like his Stuart braid and his New York step, because the knee of the back leg wasn't behind the knee of the front leg. In addition, I wanted to see more hip action, more straightening of the legs here and there, and more gracefulness in his arms. His free arm was pretty weak. His feet were slightly turned out as well. So to sum up, some parts of this dance were super strong, and it looked like he has the potential to get a really high score from me. But some parts were not so great. I still think that his quality of movement is superb, but he needs to work even harder on the technical fundamentals of the dance, and I will score this Cha-Cha-Cha a 7. And let's continue with Ranveer and Giovanni and the Foxtrot. Best dance of the night, probably. Full of elegance, full of style and class, amazing musicality, lovely head position and frame, sway. It was classy, it was graceful, it had lovely quality of movement and a very, very good amount of content. I wanted Ranveer to drive her feet more into the floor, and they broke hold toward the end of the dance, which is illegal, but nevertheless her footwork was great, her performance was magnificent, it was all very sophisticated, a true foxtrot. Giovanni is really a magnificent teacher, and Ranveer's progress is outstanding, and I will score this foxtrot an 8. And let's continue with Jamie and Karen and the Charleston. As an entertainment, it was a good number. His musicality was good and it put a smile on my face. However, dancing wise, I found it disappointing. I wanted to see much more swivels and I found it all pretty stiff. He needs to work on extending his hands and his feet to the maximum. It was more of a swing take on the traditional Charleston, which I wasn't keen on, and the music didn't help either because it wasn't really suitable for a Charleston. It was much more suitable for a jive. But on a positive note, Jamie has shown more confidence. He didn't miss a beat. He was really enjoying the dance and he showed lots of potential for the weeks to come, and I will score this Charleston a 6. And let's continue to Clara and Aliash and the tango. It was definitely an improvement on last week. I loved Clara's dress so much and I loved the choreography. There was a sufficient amount of tango content and the disco moves didn't spoil the routine for me. Actually, they added a lovely and a cheeky touch to it. Clara's frame and head position were very good, her musicality and her connection with Aliash were excellent as usual, but her movement was lacking sharpness, meaning the stocking leg action that is very important in the tango. In addition, she also missed several heel hits. For me, Clara is moving in the right direction. If she only works even harder on the technical fundamentals of the dance, she will be able to go far in the competition. And that because the musicality, the energy, and the determination she has. And my score for the tango is a 6. And let's move on to Max and Diane and the street dance. It was so funny. Definitely such an enjoyable and an entertaining routine. Max was totally engrossed at his synchronization with Diane and his musicality were really fantastic. Clean lines, lots of different cute and creative choreography wise moments. Max was totally in it. His quality of dancing was very good, his spins were great, and his partnership with Diane was really blossoming in this number. It was very theatrical, very likable, like watching a pretty professional dance routine from a musical. Having said that, I am not keen all this couple choice stuff as I've already said. It doesn't belong to Strictly in my opinion, and this particular routine was lacking more complicated steps and much more street dance moves. It was more of a jazz routine or a freestyle routine than a street dance routine. Please, if the producers of the show are watching, maybe, I don't know, please, let's stick to boring Latin dances. I really hope that he will be able to continue performing in such a high level of musicality, partnership and characterization when it comes to his next dances. And my score for this street dance routine is a 7. And let's move on to the last couple of the evening, Bill and Oti and the Paso Doble. Wow, I definitely didn't expect that. It was the cherry on the cake of week 3. Flawless musicality, gorgeous shaping, fantastic tilted hips, magnificent partnership with Oti, who makes Bill shine on the dance floor week after week. In terms of entertainment, this dance was flawless, let alone the section when Bill played the guitar and danced at the same time. He is just phenomenal. I wish I could give this dance a 10, but I felt that for me it was a tad heavy and stiff, and his arm movement wasn't great. I really hope to see Bill reaching the final and performing this astonishing routine again as an entertaining number. It was marvelous, but as much as technically it was impressive, it could have been even stronger, and my score, with loads and loads of pleasure, is an 8. I hope, guys, you have enjoyed my review. I really hope you will subscribe to my channel, and see you soon. Goodbye.